Okay, so here's a helpful video to remember the adult immunizations. So the whole story starts off with our friend Mr. T. He's very bad and very scary. So how do we spell his name? Mr. T. Okay, so MMR is for Mr. and T stands for tetanus or the Tdap. Alright, so Mr. T is wearing a cross right now, but what you can't see from under his cross are his abs. And let me tell you, they are rock hard. So let's add in some rock hard abs for Mr. T. So now we have Mr. T and we specifically focused on his abs, his ABs. Okay, so that's now two more vaccines, Hep A and Hep B. So let's say that Mr. T is standing there with his abs. He's really scaring some people. And what is he doing? He's scaring people invisible. So let's bring in an invisible person. There's a symbol for the invisible man. You can't see his face because he's invisible. Okay, so how are we going to spell out invisible? We'll spell it like this. Invisible. Okay, so we just added three more vaccines. In for influenza, V for varicella, and Z for zoster. Okay, so do you think that this invisible human, if we could see his face, would be scared or happy? Let me tell you, he'd be scared as crap. So let's bring in a scared human. There he is, Macaulay Culkin. He's a scared human. Okay? So why do I keep saying human? Because what is he saying? He's saying human. Okay, there's a memory hook. So invisible humans. And what did I say he's doing? Macaulay's so scared that he's actually peeing himself. So let's give him a pee thing right here. We're not going to draw a dirty video here. We're just going to just say the pee's coming from here. And it's just all piling up on the floor. So there's pee-pee right there. Okay, so let's say this is making Mr. T's abs makes invisible humans pee-pee. Alright, so now that we've got all that in place, that's the basis of all our vaccines. So you've got Mr. for MMR, T for tetanus, AB for Hep A and Hep B, invisible, IN for influenza, V for varicella, Z for zoster, humans, human papillomavirus for females, human papillomavirus for males, men's for meningococcus, and P for the unconjugated, basically, or the conjugate, 13, and then the polysaccharide 23. And then we'll just fill those in here. So this goes up 13, the next one's 23. So the story with the P's goes, you have 13-year-olds, you have 23-year-olds, and then you also have 65-year-olds. And when you turn 65, you get incontinent. So if you end up peeing yourself sometimes, it happens. So we're going to say when you're above 65, you get a P23 without having any particular special risk factors. But if you draw this line like this, if you're below 65, then it's risky to get a pee on the floor because you're not supposed to be incontinent yet. So you get it 1 to 2 times if you're below 65 to get a P23. And it's also risky if you're 13-year-old to pee on the floor because your mom might yell at you. So we'll just say he gets 1 dose of P13. Alright, so let's move on to the other vaccinations. Alright, so starting from the front. So Mr. Mr. stands for MMR. How many letters are in Mr? 2. So you get 2 MMRs. And when do you start calling somebody Mr? Well, when they turn 18, that's when you turn an adult. So we'll start calling you Mr. when you're 19. And when you stop calling somebody Mr, not if they're an old fart and they're 69 or 80 or 100, then you don't call them Mr. You call them old fart. So we'll say stop calling someone Mr. when they're 55, and you you start calling somebody Mr. when they're 19. So from the ages of 19 to 55, you get 2 MMRs. T. T starts with T. Tetanus starts with T. 10 years starts with T. So you get a TD booster every 10 years. T and D are just tetanus and diphtheria. Okay, so ABs, Hep A and Hep B. It's risky to mess with bees. People are usually afraid of them. They buzz around and they might sting you. So A's and B's, you get them every 2 to 3s. So you get 2 Hep A's and 2 Hep B's. And you only get them if you have risk factors. We'll talk about the specific cases where they get risk factors next. Next one is influenza. Everybody knows you get an influenza shot every year. And who tells you get the influenza shot? Healthcare professionals. And some healthcare professionals are MSMs. So everybody gets an influenza shot every year, and this specifically is the live attenuated virus influenza shot. And healthcare professionals and MSMs are 2 special cases where you also still get the same one as everyone else. Next vaccine, varicella. How many times do you get that? Well, how many strokes of your pencil do you need to draw a V? 1, 2. So I'm going to say you get it twice in your lifetime. Now the next one is fun to look at. Z. How do you draw a Z? Well, the first part of the Z is like this. And that kind of looks like a greater than sign. And the lower part of the Z kind of looks like this. And that kind of looks like a 6. So what I like to say is you get zoster when you're greater than 60. Okay, the next one is He-Hoop-Mens. So the 2 human papillomaviruses and meningococcus. So we know that there's human papillomaviruses like Gardasil, and we started originally thinking about that for girls, so female. And then we started thinking about it for males. And this is not a dirty video, but sometimes humans who are females and males do 69. But we're not going to make this a dirty video, so we'll make this 96. And why are we going to put a 96 down? We'll put a 1 in front here and a 2 in front here. And this represents the time frame that people can get human papillomaviruses vaccines. So if you're a female, you're going to get 3 doses from 19 to 26. But if you're a male, you're going to get 3 doses from 19 to 23. But then if you're an MSM, then you're also going to get 3 doses spread out from 23 all the way up to 26, just like the females. Okay, so then the next one, men. It's risky to be a man. So any woman would tell you, how many men do you have to have in your life for your life to get risky? Well, they would say 1 or more. So you get 1 or more meningococcus vaccines if you have risk. And with that being said, the only last thing I'm going to finish here is that just to reiterate. So here you have P13, P23 before 65, P23 after 65. Both of the before 65 things are with risk. But if you're after 65, older than 65, every one of those guys are going to get 1 P23, because if you're older than 65, you're not taking very many risks. But if you're younger than 65, it's risky to pee on the floor if you're 23 or if you're 13. Okay, hopefully that helped. Sorry, it was a little bit longer than I expected.